Life with Leah, episode 2.
Hi, everybody. Let me just disclaim myself now, allegedly. So I'm sitting there. Well, if you notice, we reversed our set. So tell me what you think. Do I look pretty? Now, what happens is sometimes the light's so bright shining off the water because we're right on the ocean that it's bright, and so it's behind me, and it kind of washes me out. So I said, well, let's try it this way today. And the guys go, no, it looks better the other way. So I said, well, let's try it anyway. See what happens. We can always go back to the other way, right? All right. So, well, first of all, I went to Texas. I didn't see those pictures. I guess you didn't print them. Oh, I'll tell you about that later. I thought I sent some pictures to print where I was in Texas for the weekend, where RJ was, oh, Lord, he went to the gun range. I hate when that happens. He wanted to try that, and he got to try that. And, of course, he got to play pool with his cousins. And it was a long, exhausting trip. By the time I got back, I had to sleep for a day. But anyway, that was my life for the weekend. And he's in a play this weekend, Friday and Saturday night at the school, so we've been overwhelmed at our house, but we did have time to plan for a fabulous show for you today. Well, I've got some good news for you. Pack your pup, because dogs can now stay with you at Disney World. Yay! Well, this according to BuzzFeed. There are 4 hotels, New Orleans, Wilderness, whatever. There's 3 or 4 hotels. They're doing it as a test. And when you check in with your dogs, they get ID tags, they get puppy pads, they get walking maps, they have a daycare service. You can have up to 2 dogs per room. It's available. You can make reservations through the 28th of October. And you can see what happens. I mean, they're calling it easy outdoor access to go to the restroom, and it's perfection. And it's only on a limited test. It's $75 a night. It ranges from $50 to $75 depending. So anyway, that sounds like fun. Now, while you're getting there, don't sit next to a drunk passenger. Listen to this. I cannot believe this. No. A drunk passenger apparently put out his pee-pee and peed all over the guy next to him on a flight. And the person next to him was drenched in his suit, and it was from LA to Newark. You know how long? That's a 5-hour flight. And so, I mean, this is United again. It's always United. And so this guy complained about it, and they wouldn't even move him in a seat. Finally, they moved him to another seat, but his clothes were drenched with pee from the guy next to him. And then the stewardess says, well, you know, they couldn't really, there was nothing they could do about it, but they did finally move him to another seat. When they got off the plane, security meets the guy that peed on him, and the guy said, well, he had 5 rum and cokes at the bar, and he doesn't remember anything about it. I would absolutely make him, I'd have to stop the plane and take a shower. I can't. This is why you've got to start taking an extra pair of clothes on the plane now, and some soap. Go in the bathroom.
Virgin Allison depends.
Oh, God. Yeah, it's disgusting.
And his name was his tongue? No, sorry.
Oh, yeah. And then, this should not have happened. A drone crashed into a Canadian passenger plane. They're only supposed to go so many feet up. This one went 3,000 feet up and hit a plane. Fortunately, nobody died and it didn't crash, but it could have been catastrophic, and that was in Canada. I'm not so sure I'm sold on those drones. Yeah. They can spy on people.
There's a guy in my building, and he takes it out off his balcony and lowers it down and looks in all of our units.
I don't think that's necessarily such a good thing. But anyway, technology. Now, you guys, who watched Breaking Bad? Oh, that was one of my favorite. I binge watched Breaking Bad one summer, Roy and I. And if there was a scene where he gets mad, he and the wife are fighting, and when he leaves the house, he throws a pizza at the house, and it goes on the roof, and the pizza winds up on the roof like this. Well, now the people that own the house that they were filming in literally had to put a gate up around their house, because every day people are going by throwing pizzas on top of their roof, and this has been going on since the show ended, which was years ago. So they finally they don't want to move, and so they had to put a fence up to stop people from throwing pizzas on the top of the house. Oh my God. I mean, homeless people need the pizzas. Go throw them down there.
You have a few people saying hi from India.
India! Oh, I have some Indian jewelry in our line over here that's fabulous.
And Pamela Morrow said she loved watching you on Flipping Out.
Oh, Flipping Out. That's right. I forgot. It's going to be, I believe this Thursday might be their is it their finale? Okay, it's their finale. So maybe I'll be on it again. You never know with these. I think I am on it because I did film more than what they showed. But let's just see. You'll get to see my house and how fabulous it looked. That Jeff's a hoot. I tell you, he is hilarious. He gets a bad rap because I know he comes across, like meaner than he really is. He's a softie.
No, we like it.
Gucci. Look at this. You can set $19,000 for a powder pink coat, but it's not really fur. So they're getting rid of all of the fur. They'll no longer use or publicize animals for their spring and summer collection. And so this is a part of their new decision to a culture of purpose, which is a sustainability plan for the planet. But isn't this beautiful? It looks real. Of course, it's $19,000. I mean, for $19,000, I mean, it's not cold enough in Miami. I don't know who would wear that pink. I guess some of these young fabulous girls would wear this pink. I don't know.
All the OC girls were talking about getting their furs out and going to Iceland.
I could see Frankie Grande in that.
Yeah,
he would love it. And speaking of preserving the planet, McDonald's is coming out. It's a test with a vegan sandwich in Finland. And I think that may be a big hit.
Yeah.
Not necessarily in Miami, but it would be in LA, Denver, Aspen, some of the places where it wouldn't be in Texas probably, where they love that meat. But it's a vegan sandwich at McDonald's. So hopefully they'll bring one here. Wouldn't that be fabulous? I love that idea. Meanwhile, we're collecting money for tents. We've got commitments for like 7,500 tents. No, 75. Yes. How many do we have? 75 tents. They need 10,000. We're getting 75 together. These are the small version. This is the small one. This one says on here, 2-person tent donated by, and it gives the name. And we're sending them to Puerto Rico. There's a big box over there with one that 12 people can sleep in, or 10. It has a porch on it. But if you're interested in sending any tents or anything down here, we will get it to Puerto Rico, because there's an organization here that's been doing this for years. They sent millions of pounds of stuff to Haiti when Haiti lost everything from the hurricane. So we will get your items there with your name on it for you and get them delivered over to Puerto Rico or the Virgin Islands. So if you want to buy a tent, go on our hello@leahblack.com and ask me for questions. What are you laughing about?
Somebody said McDonald's has been doing that with their chicken McNuggets for years.
So their chicken McNuggets are really meatless?
Steve McGrew.
Steve,
I've been eating them for years.
Yeah, where's the beef? I wouldn't eat those chicken McNuggets, because that's just ground. It's got to be all the ground up. I can't. Meanwhile, don't forget, is it November 3rd? Our friend Julie Goldman's going to be here at the Pink Flamingo Award. We've got tickets for that. That's going to be fun. And now this is something for you guys to take note of, and you girls too. Look at this. You're not going to believe what this is. This is a fingerprint on a condom. So now fingerprint technology is so advanced, it can tell if someone had a condom or wore a certain brand of condom, and it can be admissible in court. So if you're doing something you shouldn't be doing, you better burn that condom or flush it down, because they can find your fingerprints on the condom now and put it in court. Yep. How embarrassed would you be? Especially if your condom was like one of those small, extra small. They said there's a lot of scientific work going on at the Sheffield Hallam University, and the police and crime scenes are looking at this technique and how they could fit it into the DNA and so forth. So I'd be careful about those condoms and the fingerprints on the condoms. Oh my goodness, what will they come up with next?
Your Marty from Twitter says hello.
Oh, hi, Marty. I think I met Marty before in Chelsea Handler's thing. Now, according to this news report, you're going to die. Univision reporter. This guy's a big celebrity, Latin celebrity, and his name was so he was joking with this journalist was joking with him, and he quipped something about his son. And he asked him about his son, a question that he didn't like, and the guy slapped the reporter. He just hauled off and whacked him. Bitch slapped the guy because he didn't like the question that the reporter asked. I'm just waiting for Trump to do that. And, can you imagine? It just set him off. So now they're, of course, in damage control mode. But imagine you're a celebrity walking the red carpet, a reporter asks you something you want to talk about, and you just lose your temper and just slap the hell out of them. Oh, my God, I can't even believe it.
My hand would hurt all day.
Yeah, right. I couldn't do that. I might hurt one of my rings. Joanna Krupa back in the news. Oh, God, Joanna, listen to me. Don't ever talk about people being happy. Don't mention anyone being out of shape. I just made a little offhanded joke. I was just kidding. And I got all slammed. But apparently, she says, Joanna slams lazy people that aren't fit. So the article says she may have offended an estimated 100 million plus overweight people in the United States. She is so pretty, though. She works out like crazy every day.
That McDonald story.
Yeah, right. That's right. Yeah. And she says there's absolutely no excuse in not staying fit and healthy at any age. Motivation and drive is the key. Over the years of my career, I've had so many comments about people saying that I starve myself, and I don't. I just work out all the time, and I eat less than 2,000 calories a day. She does have a really fabulous body. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, she did not mean anything by that. She really didn't. She was just basically saying, look, I do it. If I can do it, you can do it. But that's just not true. I can't do it. But whatever. Now, here's a sad story for you. George Michael, dismissed in an article that came out, says that he dismissed his entire life as a waste of time, admitted he never recovered from the death of his first love in a heartbreaking scene in his new documentary. The tragic star who produced the show himself was putting the final touches on it. It's called Freedom, only 48 hours before his shocking death last Christmas. And this would be his final message to his fans. He revealed how he was still struggling over losing his boyfriend who died from AIDS more than 2 decades earlier. In the moving footage, he said, 23 years later, it brings a tear to his eye. He was my savior. He was reclusive Michael, produced a landmark documentary which will air on Channel 4 in his from his Highgate home in North London, along with his best friend David Austin. So isn't that sad? So for 23 years, he was depressed because his boyfriend that he really madly loved, I guess, fell, ill to AIDS. So I thought that was sad. So now we know more about his backstory. Oh, there's so much tragedy. I think I talked about this before. Here's another one. Wendy Williams at it again. She's all upset. This is the girlfriend. This is her. And then after everything broke and the whole article came out, the husband and the girlfriend are still being seen together. So she's got her panties all wadded up in a knot, rightfully so. Here's some good gossip. Prince Harry's apparently in love with this little Canadian actress, and apparently she's going to get off of her TV show and I guess move to London, and hopefully they're expecting him to pop the question any day. I can't wait to see that engagement ring. Honey, call me if you need any advice.
And there was some statistic about she's either the first or the first in many, many years.
A commoner?
To be brought into the...
Well, I think Kate Middleton was a commoner, no? I don't know. I know Diana obviously wasn't. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the other one was Princess Grace was a commoner. She was an actress. Courtney Love. How much do we love Courtney? I love Courtney. She's just fabulous. She said she warned women about Harvey Weinstein in 2005.
The video is awesome.
Oh, it is?
She was doing the Comedy Central roast of Pamela Anderson, and they asked her advice.
Oh, and that's how it came out? Yeah. Well, that came out, and so look at...
I'm going to get libeled.
You're going to lie. This one. Oh, listen. This one. I remember her. I never think of her name. Emma Thomason, right? Okay. She says, I spent my 20s trying to get all men's tongues out of my mouth. Oh my God, the sexual harassment thing is just it's contagious and rampant. It's always always been going on. It's just people are now talking about it. Women are just getting their voice and they're talking about it. Now, this I saw on Twitter. I mean, honestly, Harvey Weinstein accused by 13 women of sexual assault, sexual harassment, of rape, power businessman, former Democratic donor, rightfully ostracized, getting divorced, abandoned by his brother, friends, industry, and wife. Trump, accused by 15 women of sexual assault, sexual harassment, or rape, powerful businessman, former Democratic Party, elected president of the United States of America. I mean, people are clever. Whether you agree or not, it's funny. I mean, I just think it's funny. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this guy did it, and he, you know, is losing everything, and this guy did it, and he became president. I mean, people just glam on, you know, to certain things. I don't know what that's about, but people just glam on. I have some more Harvey Weinstein stuff I'll go to in a minute. But first of all, I want to tell you another tragedy. Oh, Lord. Look at this alligator. Apparently in Australia, this 70-year-old woman left her little nursing home, went for a walk, and they think that this alligator attacked her and ate her. And they're tracking this alligator to cut it open to find, to confirm that her remains are in this alligator. That literally, that made me sick. What? No. My next handbag? Nope. I don't want that one. It's contaminated. Oh, how disgusting. Can you imagine? So imagine you're the family of that woman and you're wondering if she was eaten by an alligator. Oh my God, it's just tragic. And then we have the fires in LA. Oh, look at this. The fire department were so tired. They worked 3 shifts without sleeping, and finally they just passed out and went to sleep and used rocks as pillows. It's so sad. God bless them. They don't get paid that much money. They risk their lives. I mean, these are the real heroes. Why is everyone so money grubbing? Why can't we just pay people like this a lot more money and quit letting rich people cut taxes and make more for themselves? How much is enough? How many cars can one person drive? I mean, you know, I like my jewelry, I like my houses, but I get it that I'm lucky and I'm privileged and, you know, I work hard for it. My husband works hard for it. But I never forget about the guy that doesn't have anything. And I don't understand people that just can't, like, so we're only getting 75 tents. Well, we need 1,000. Maybe we'll get 1,000. But at least we're doing something, you know? Everybody should just do something. Now I feel like we should do something for those firefighters.
Because we're self-made. That's why. I mean,
I don't know.
People that come from, you know, wealth over life, they treat others who don't have it differently than people who have had it their whole life.
I worry about RJ. You know, it's like I don't want him to think this is how everybody lives. Everybody doesn't live this way. You know, people have to earn it to live this way. And then when you earn it, you should give it back. You should pay it forward and help other people because not everyone was privileged enough to have the opportunities. Like I created my own opportunities. I came from a very middle class family and I worked my way and I struggled my way and I took risk and I worked literally 20 hours a day my entire life up until I was probably 40 to get to the point where I could kind of support myself and my entire family and relax and have a good life. But I worked to get there. So when I see other people struggling, you know, it's like, oh my God, you know, I've been there. I've been where I couldn't make payroll. I've been where I was worried about my car payment. I've been where they are. So I have empathy for them. And that's why when I see all those people in Puerto Rico sleeping on the streets and on logs and literally they have no shelter. They're in the sun all day. They're in the rain when it rains, and they're sleeping outdoors at night. And then I saw that they were asking for 1,000 tents. I'm like, well, we can get some tents together. Anybody can get the tents. They start at $20. You can buy a tent for $20 for one person, and like $40 for up to family of 4 and 6 and 10 and on and on. And the other day, Jason went on. We got tents half price. So we got some of the tents that were for 6 and 8 people for only $40. Wow. So you know what I mean? It's just like everybody's got to do their own little thing. But this is what California looked like in the wine country before, and this is what it looks like now. And I saw this one family on television, and they were saying they went to go through the rubbles to see what they could find. There was nothing. It's all ashes. Every single thing was ashes. Yeah. Not even worth nothing. Not even could find not one thing. It's so sad.
Friend says that you look beautiful as always, and she wants to know where Little Black is.
Little Black's running around somewhere. He's right by my feet. Maybe we'll pick him up to say bye in a minute. But while I'm worrying about the tents, Trump's down there throwing paper towels to people that don't have water, throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. Oh, it's embarrassing. But I also want to say that we should all give a big thank you to these 4 little soldiers that were killed in Niger.
Yeah.
It's so sad, and nobody knows yet what happened. I don't think you could blame Hillary Clinton for Benghazi, and I don't think you can blame Trump for this. I think when you're in war, there are so many things that can go wrong, and a lot of them do. I mean, there are things we can do to make it better, but I'm not passing any blame on anybody. But I'm showing you the picture of the little pregnant wife, and I saw her sobbing and crying over the casket of her husband, and apparently he had her name tattooed across his chest. It is just so sad. But apparently the press has been pressuring Trump. Why haven't you reached out? Why haven't you called? So after, I guess, 2 weeks, he did finally make the call. And he says to the pregnant widow of the U.S. Army Sergeant LaDavid Johnson, Trump says he knew what he signed up for, but it hurts anyway. How do you say that to somebody? That's not what they want to hear. I mean, do they need to write him a script for something, even something like this?
Every time.
I can't.
If he opens his mouth, he should be on script.
If it's not a script, it's going to come back to haunt him. Meanwhile, I guess in the housewife family, back to the lowest hanging fruit, I guess they're going through with this divorce. She's a little wackadoodle, but she seems like she's a fun girl, she doesn't bother me. I think she seems fun, Nene will no longer be hosting The Escape. I don't know if I had a picture of the girls, but Candy's band called Escape that they had back when. They've now asked Nene not to host it. She was going to go on tour and host, I guess, or introduce the tour. And after she said the disgusting rape clapback at a heckler during one of her stand-up gigs, Escape released a statement saying that they were dismayed by Nene's remarks, and that although Nene had apologized, Escape emphasized that their decision as supporters of all women, they stand by female rape victims, and they added, the tour is for and about our fans, and we want to provide an entertaining and an enjoyable experience for every single person who attends. So they wish Nene well, but they don't want her introducing them after the comment she made on stage to a heckler saying, you know what, I hope you get raped on the way home by your Uber driver or something to that effect. So Escape has dropped her.
Portia shaved her head. I meant to send you a photo.
Portia
completely shaved her head.
Oh, here's Escape. Oh, Portia Escape shaved her head?
Yes, from
oh my God.
Atlanta. She completely
anything for attention. Well, probably all those extensions were breaking all her hair off. Seriously, these girls wear all that stuff in their hair. I mean, this is Escape, the group. I think they're a nice, attractive little group. They may do very well. They may be like a new pop Spice Girl thing. Good for them. Well, good for them. Now, I will say, Candy, get rid of that top. I mean, that's too much. I don't like that. That's just cheapens you. Get a little more classy. And this one, too. Why is she dressed like that? Dress more... I don't know. That's just my stupid opinion. Now, apparently, here they are. The girl for Escape said that the reunion is different. This reunion of them coming back and going on tour is different because it goes back to the group's roots, because the first time the entire group has been together again. So good luck to Escape. We will be listening to their fabulous, whatever it is, music. There was a rumor, one of the Orange County Real Housewives reportedly getting the axe. Vicki Gunvalson. That's just a rumor. I called Real Mr. Housewife, said, is this true? He said he doesn't think it's true, but that the show is lacking a little spunk this year. But these shows are cyclical. You have to stick with the show. It'll get its groove. It'll come back. It'll be fine. But I don't think they would axe Vicki. But apparently the rumor started because she was on Watch What Happened Live with Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson, who's a great actress and dancer, and she got upset that she didn't sit next to Andy, that Rita sat next to Andy. I mean, what is it? These girls, this reminds me of my gala. They get upset if they're not on the front row. They got to be on the front row. They can't be on the second row. Well, you paid for the second row. Yeah, but I deserve to be on the front row. Why do they care? They're lucky just to be on the show. Be on the show. Be happy about it. Count your blessings. What are you fighting because you're not sitting next to Andy? I mean, haven't you seen him enough in your life? This other woman, maybe she never even met him, or maybe it's her first time on the show, or by the way, she happens to be a big movie star. Maybe there was a reason to put her sitting next to Andy, but you take it so personal, like, I've got to be next to Andy. That is so ego-driven. Remember one of our reunions when one of the girls threw the biggest screaming, crying, whining fit that she wasn't going to sit next to Andy, and then she literally during the whole reunion sat in the other girl's lap to try to be, I'm like, no matter how close, it's like in a grocery line, no matter how much you smother me and breathe down my throat, the line's not moving any faster and you're not going to be in front of me. And I just find that to be so petty and ego-driven and embarrassing. I mean, I cringe for these girls. Meanwhile,
They want to say hello from Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, Louisville, Kentucky.
Dawn said, and Jonathan says it's Black Wednesday. Talking about Black Friday.
It's Black Wednesday? They're naming a day of the week after me. I have a day of the month after me from the mayor, and so now I have a day of the week after me. It's called Black Wednesday. So do you guys like our new set? You have to tell me. We're going to change it back if not. Okay, anyway, what have I not mentioned? Oh, I told you about that. Oh, God, look at this. I love this. Is just hilarious. People are just clever. You know I love Larry Flynt and his wife Elizabeth. I think they're amazing. So he told us back months ago in the summer that he was going to take out an ad in the Washington Post, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, okay, I'll be watching for it, He has taken out, Larry Flynt and Hustler magazine announced a cash offer of up to $10 million for information leading to the impeachment and removal from office of Donald J. Trump. And he tweeted, so I decided to do this. Let's see what happens. He has 81,000 retweets and 161,000 likes already and 5,000 comments. So I got the article out of the Post. You've got to read it. It tells you all. It's so hilarious. God bless Larry. This isn't the first time he's done this. He offered $1 million for somebody once before for something about something, but $10 million is a lot of money. You got it. Don't we know anything that could get him impeached? I could use that $10 million. I could spend some more tents to Puerto Rico and buy some more diamonds too.
Flynt says he has leads.
Oh, he has some leads? Oh, yeah. I read somewhere that he said that the phone or however they're communicating are coming off the walls. Every crazy in the world is going to come up with a story. Yeah. They got to sift through them and see if any of them are real. Now, back to Ivana Trump. She intrigues me. So apparently in the book that she wrote about raising her kids, listen to these comments. On skiing, she says, I could have worn warmer clothes, but I don't participate in a sport if I don't look elegant. So when she goes to ski, and she was a professional skier, if I recall, she's got to look elegant in the clothes or she just won't ski. On time in Canada, I wasn't thinking about getting married and becoming a Canadian hockey mom or learning to sugar my own maple syrup. I was just settling into my own freedom. On giving birth, I kicked Donald out of the room, let him witness the birth, ? Never. My sex life would be finished after that. On her kids' behavior, if anyone in our family showed up in the gossip columns for going to a wild party, it would be me. I think she's hilarious. On helicopter parenting, my version of helicopter parenting was to bring the kids to work with me in the Trump chopper. I just think she's hilarious. On an apology for Marla Maples, I'm doing just fine with my resentment. Thank you very much. She's not letting that go. She's a dog with a bone. On watching The Apprentice, I could always predict which person would be fired because I know how Donald thinks. Well, honey, you need to be going over there and talking to some important people because no one else can figure out how he thinks. Does he think or does he react? On Donald Trump's weight, I can always tell when his weight goes up and down between 235 and 215. Oh my God. On dating younger men, I'd rather be a babysitter than a nursemaid. I think she's hilarious. Oh, God.
John Michaels wants to know, do you plan on coming out with another book?
I'm supposed to do 2 more books, but I've got to sell the last couple of thousand I have of this one before I want to go to the trouble to write another one. So you can go to Amazon.com or LeahBlack.com and get my Red Carpets and White Lies, and I'll get a second publishing. But I do have a really good one. But this time, I would just throw everybody under the bus. I wouldn't be so nice anymore. I told you. Oh, and also I'm going to be on the Andy Radio with Jeff Lewis again the Friday after Thanksgiving. And we're going to go do Heather's podcast the end of November in Tampa, so we'll keep you updated on that. It's the 30th.
You can get tickets at her
you can get tickets where?
on our website.
Oh, on
McDonald's website.
Heather McDonald's website. You can get tickets. It's going to be, they're only at $20, I think. She's going to do a live podcast, and I'm going to be her guest, and James and Jason are going to be there laughing at us because we all think we're so crazy.
And we have 2 truck shows coming up.
Oh, we do. We have some talk shows coming up for the holidays.
November 16th. And December 14th.
And December 14th here at our showroom in downtown fabulous Miami, right on the water. Oh, my quote of the week. Wait, before I do my quote of the week, let's just recap the Housewives really quick. Apparently, Siggy, behind the scenes, Ziggy and Teresa, even though they're fighting like crazy over that ridiculous cake, apparently they're still really good friends. And apparently, Ziggy, who brought pigtails on the show, is really at an all-out war with pigtails.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That one turned fast.
Yeah, that turned really fast. But you know, it's funny. When someone brings you on a show like that, I do think you owe them a certain amount of loyalty to a point. You know, at least have their back a little bit until there's a reason not to. And I can't stand these girls that use you to get on a show and then they get on there and then they immediately attack you and start throwing you under the bus. I don't think that's a very admirable quality in people. Remember, you heard it here first. Remember that whole big rumor? They had the marathon of Real Housewives of Miami and all that chatter about the show was coming back. And then they were going to cast these people in Fort Lauderdale and they were going to cast these people in Boca. And it was going to be all about Southern Florida. And the show was going to be back and who was going to be on it and who wasn't going to be on it. And then some of the girls I know start leaking stories with their pictures in it about, blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just so obvious. And I told you that I thought it was a rumor. Well, guess what? They may be trying to put a show together, but Bravo's not involved in it. They have nothing to do with it. So I knew that. And I've been watching The Voice. Yay!
They want to know how RJ's doing. Francis, how's RJ? Andy wants to know how he's doing.
Oh, RJ, well, he made it to Texas. He had a ball. He loves Texas. He got to wear his cowboy hat, his cowboy boots, his cowboy belt, shoot at the gun rifle, play pool. I mean, he's in heaven when he's there. He loves all that stuff, and he's doing good. He's in the school play this weekend, 2 nights in a row. There's only 8 people in the play, so it's been hard. He had a lot of memorizing to do, and we're looking at colleges. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna have to go with him. And anything else? We had a lot of questions, but why don't we have them here? We'll answer questions next week. Just keep sending them in. Keep sending your questions in. I told you about this before, this nasty feud. I think it's really heated up again with Cottrell and Jessica Barker, because Cottrell, I think my take on it is Kim Cottrell went out as a sexy bombshell. It's been 3 or 4 years, and she probably just doesn't want to go out. She doesn't want to go out looking any different.
I'm
you know, she's like, you know what? Maybe she doesn't look as fabulous, or maybe she didn't like the way girls treated her, or maybe she's just like, I'm over being in show business, or why would I reward you for treating me horrible all these years? And she just doesn't want to do it anymore. So, I mean, you know what? I saw Ingrid tweeted in support of Kim Cottrell, so I'm in support of her too. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. A lot of people blame that whole show because Joanna and I told Bravo we weren't coming back, and then that show got canceled. They were like blaming us about it. Well, you know, there's always somebody else that you can get.
Somebody James Blasi wants to know, he said you were a hoot on flipping out. Yay! And he said, do you have your daytime diamond or your evening diamond on?
I have my all-around daytime on today, my little Tiffany one. That's funny, on the airplane going to Texas, all the stewardesses had seen flipping out. Yeah. They all recognized me. And the one guy came up, he said, I'm hoping you have your nighttime diamond on. But I didn't, because I was going to Texas. Hand me the little dog. Come here, baby. We got to say bye. Oh, he's chewing on his bone. His bone. Come on. And my quote of the week. Here you go. There's a little blacky boo. He was eating his bone, chewing on it. My quote of the week. You can train your environment. Or, oh my God, he's caught my necklace.
He is. He's caught.
Oh, he likes jewelry. Okay. You can train your environment or let it train you. One you work at and the other works for you. And I think about that a little bit. You can train your environment or let it train you. One you work at. You have to work at training your environment, and the other works for you. So if you work at training your environment, it will work for you. If you don't, you will work for it.
People love
there
that
you
quote.
go, and I believe it. I don't think it's written right on here, but in any event, you can train your environment or let it train you. One you work at and works for you, and the other you work for is basically what I'm saying. But in any event, I train my environment. You see, it's right here, part of my environment. He knows how to go and when to go and how to act. So thank you guys. I'll see you next Wednesday, Lunch with Leah. Bye.